I didn't stop giving handjobs because I wasn't good at it. I stopped giving handjobs because I was the best at it. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Ella. So I've read a bunch of books this year, but today I wanted to talk about some of the books that I think aren't as well known that were absolutely amazing, at least in my eyes. I thought they were amazing. So yeah, I wanted to shine a light. There's only 3 books today, so it's a pretty quick video, but let's get started. So the first book is The Grownup by Gillian Flynn. So this book is actually a short story. It's only like 60 pages long, and okay. So the story follows a young woman who makes her money by giving hand jobs in the back room of a psychic palm reading store called Spiritual Palms. Funny. After so many years of giving hand jobs, she develops carpal tunnel syndrome, so she can no longer do it. Because of that, she ends up moving into the front of the shop and learns how to give psychic readings and do palm reading. She learns to pretend to do that. Obviously, the main character doesn't know what she's doing, so she's just kind of bullshitting it. When one day a wealthy woman comes in who is very distressed and asks for a psychic reading from her. The wealthy woman ends up telling her that there's some paranormal activity happening at her home. Because the main character is kind of trying to make some money here, she agrees to go to this woman's house and give a, what would you call that? Cleanse it. Clearly, she's lying. She can't do that. But she also doesn't believe in ghosts, so she thinks that, I'll go to the girl's house and probably find something logical that explains whatever she's dealing with. So our protagonist ends up going to this woman's house, and the story unfolds from there. Horrifying, sinister things start to happen, and it's such a fun read. It sucked me in from the beginning, and it's hilarious. The only problem I had was the ending, and I actually read some other reviews. It seems that most people didn't like the ending. It's not a bad ending, but it just, I would say it leaves you wanting more because it is a short story. And if anything, I think that this would be, it's such a good start that you want it to keep going, but it doesn't. Just to kind of give you a glimpse of it, this is the first line. I didn't stop giving handjobs because I wasn't good at it. I stopped giving handjobs because I was the best at it. Yeah. Check it out. The next book I have is definitely not as explicit. It is actually a kid's book. So that would be The Whisperwicks by Jordan Lees. So one day I went into Barnes & Noble and I didn't even know what I was looking for. And I saw the cover of this book and I thought it was so pretty. And then I bought it. So The Whisperwicks follows an 11-year-old boy named Benjamin Creek who lives with his parents, his grandma, his parents and his grandma in a bookshop that they own. When one day a magical doll shows up in his room and leads him into the basement where there's this magical doorway that leads him into a new parallel world. And of course, he ends up getting stuck in this world, and in order to come home, he has to go through this journey and solve a mystery. And I'm not going to really give too much away, but I highly recommend this for kids and adults. There were some parts that were a little slow in the middle because it is geared towards children. The writing is a lot more simple. At some parts, it was a little slow for me, but then it picked right back up, and the ending was amazing. Chef's kiss. At best, I thought it was going to be like a fun read, but it actually turned out to be so good that I cried. I just see this book being like adapted into a Tim Burton film. I just see it. I see it. So the third and final book today is Suzanne Collins' Gregor the Overlander. This book is probably my favorite book this year that I've read. I am such a huge Suzanne Collins fan. I love The Hunger Games. So this book was actually written prior to Suzanne Collins writing The Hunger Games. Gregor the Overlander is basically a modern retelling of Alice in Wonderland. So instead of following a young aristocratic girl from England who falls down a rabbit hole, we are following a boy and his little sister who fall down an air duct in his apartment building's laundry room. Does that make sense? And they fall into the Underland, which is basically this underground civilization that exists under New York. And it's filled with giant talking rats and bats and spiders and also humans. And he ends up going on an adventure, and it's just such a fun ride. Also, his little sister Boots, who comes with him, every line she says in this book, because she doesn't say that much because she's only 2, every line she says is hilarious, and you just cannot help but fall in love with her. I also realized that I didn't add one of the most important parts of this, which is that like the Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins does not shy away from war and the darker parts of humanity in the Overlander Chronicles. In fact, the Overlander Chronicles really are about those darker aspects of society. And even though it is a kid's book, she doesn't shy away from violence. Although it is it's written very tastefully, it's also written very honestly. And with all that said, I would still say it is an appropriate book for the readers it's meant for. And I just think I needed to say that. I want to give like a little preview of it or something. I don't know. There's really nothing I can say, but I will definitely keep reading the series. And maybe I'll do some more videos when I get through it. But that's about it for the books. I hope you guys got some suggestions for some new books to read. And if not, I hope you guys just enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.